lyricist, breakthrough artist of Ocular Music Group, funny musician, comedian, and social media influencer are only a few of the attributions that I can give to our guest tonight, Sabi Yin. I'm going to actually interview him, and we're going to talk about everything in the media and his influence and the work that he's done. So I want to first start by thanking you so much for coming and, being a part of this and really explaining to the people what it is that you do and your craft and the way that you cultivate it. So with that being said, I'm really curious because so many of us believe that joining a music label is easy and we join and then we're instantly the next musical icon. What were your expectations coming into the music industry and signing in a record label versus the reality of it?
Oh, yeah. I know what you mean by people having those high expectations about joining a label and the next thing you know, you're the next big thing. But that's obviously not the case. You really got to put in some work. The reality of it is you really, really got to put in the time, and the effort, and investing, the money, all that shit. Like, it's not all strawberry fields.
I understand. So with that being said, you talked about the time. What type of time has your Ocular Music Group, that's the name of your label?
Yes.
So what type of time have they put into your promotion, like promoting you as an artist, and what type of time do they promote all their artists on? Would you say that it's equal? How would you describe that?
Yeah, I would say it's equal. Like, for example, they put in promotion, I basically put a lot of money into advertisements. That's how I first get my stuff out. Like, for example, I put out my first song not even early January where I put out my first song. I put some money into it, and just within weeks time I've had over 20,000 views on 2 separate videos of my music. So it's definitely a great impact.
Do you think that you would have gotten... What I'm asking is, how many views do you think that you would have gotten without Ocular Music Group personally?
To be honest, a lot of what they were doing, I had no idea. So if I was to do it by myself, and then I just dropped them, like, hey guys, like, listen to my shit, I'd probably get 100, 200 at most.
At most?
At most,
And that would be kind of locally, that wouldn't be globally on a global basis.
Like,
because
that was my expectations.
Right.
I was, because this was gonna be my first song, and like, hey, I'd be lucky to get a few hundred views. But
right.
I was really surprised after just 1 week. I had over 23,000 views.
That's insane. Within 1 week, you had over 23,000 views.
Oh, yeah.
That's very intense. That's very impressive. And obviously, being from the small town and knowing you personally, we have the connection. We've heard your music in the small town. But for people that haven't grown up in Brenham, Texas, and don't know your music, how do you think would be the best way, the best social media outlet for them to reach you?
The best way to reach me, well, luckily they set that up for me as well. I'm on all platforms, Facebook, SoundCloud, Instagram, Spotify, whatnot. It's just what's more comfortable for the viewer, basically.
Right.
I'm available anywhere. But I get the most interactions for sure on Facebook for some reason. People tend to show more love on Facebook for some reason.
I find that so interesting because recent polls have shown that Facebook is actually declining and Twitter is the new thing, and Twitter is rising as far as viewers and the political climate and, content. So the fact that you're pulling in the majority of your views from Facebook speaks a lot. It's very interesting. I'm interested, speaking of views, do you have a target audience that you're trying to reach?
Definitely that alternative crowd, because my music genre is indie pop. It's not as mainstream right now, but I feel it's one of the genres that is on the come up, and probably from like 19 to 34, male, female, alternative. That's probably the group of people that I'm trying to introduce my music to.
I understand, and I appreciate that because obviously I'm in that age group, and Do you think that as you progress in life and as you get older, that will remain the target audience, or do you think that as you age, your target audience will age with you?
Yeah, that's hard to really. Yeah, probably so. I don't see my music changing so much. First off, but you know, once I do, I'm not gonna be a stagnant artist. So I'm definitely going to be adapting with the times, and I'd expect my fans to adapt with me.
Understandable. With adapting with the times, do you ever in your music make political statements that are subliminal? Do you ever make any social statements, or do you just keep it all fixed on emotion and impact? How do you?
Yeah, just raw emotion for me. Like
Raw
I,
emotion.
I, I don't. I tend to not go too much into political, if any, or any, you know, anything like that. Because at the end of the day, I make music because I love to make music, and you know, I want to keep doing what I love to do, which is, you know, expressing myself.
And you're very passionate about that. We can all tell. With expressing yourself, I want to know what has been the most popular song that you've released, and how have you gotten, like, what have been your streams with that? How many streams have you gotten on which platforms with that song?
The song that I have out right now, Uni, You and I, however you want to pronounce it, that's definitely my most popular song. Stream wise, it's actually going pretty great, you know. Not even a month in, I got a couple thousand on SoundCloud. Like I said, on Facebook, I got over 23,000 views and on two separate videos of that. And yeah, it's actually pretty popping for being, you know, coming from nothing, because that was literally one of the first songs I ever dropped. You know, last year, 2019, I didn't have anything to my name, so I'm pretty new out there, but it's surprising how much love I'm getting.
You're actually surprised by it?
Oh yeah.
Is it a situation where every day you wake up and your views are like growing and you're still humbled by the experience and the shock of it all?
Oh yeah. Every day I see those numbers rise, and every day I still kind of have a little bit of self-doubt, because it's too good. Feels like it's too good to be true, really, but the numbers are there, and the numbers aren't lying.
Understandable. Speaking of the numbers, I hate to keep harping on social media, but if you had to say, social media wise, which social media platform that you get the most engagement from, not views, but overall engagement, which social media platform do you think that would be? And do you think why? Why do you think it would be?
Oh yeah, right now it's Facebook, but that's where I have most of my promotions in, and I'm pretty sure that's one of the biggest factors on why I get the most engagements there. But right now, like I said, I'm still pretty new out there, so I'm still experimenting. I'm still messing with my analytics and everything to get my target audience to listen to my music. So once I do finally have every promotion equally out there throughout every platform, then we'll see about that. But for right now, it is Facebook.
Okay, that being stated, how much money do you think you've invested towards your promotional analytics on Facebook? Not an exact number. It doesn't have to
around,
be.
It's not. Surprisingly, it's not much. Probably a couple hundred.
A few $100s, and you've gotten such a large amount of engagement, views, comments, reactions, all these streams on Facebook, and it's leading to people buying your music. With that being said, how much do you estimate you will make off of a full album?
A full album? Sure, I couldn't tell you. I don't really know about that.
You don't know?
Yeah. It's a little bit too early on for me to really guesstimate that, but yeah, I couldn't tell you.
You couldn't tell me? Okay. Well, let's break down an album. How many songs do you think that your album would be composed of? And with that being said, not just songs, but music videos.
It's gonna have most likely 10 to 14 songs.
10 to 14 songs. Wow. And each song being 2 minutes up?
Yeah, 2 minutes up.
That's a lot of videos, William. That's a lot of work. With that being said, how many music videos do you think that you'll have with the songs?
In a lot of albums, there's usually a select few songs that really rise above the rest, and judging on the feedback is the feedback that I get on that is what's gonna be the deciding factor on what music videos I'm gonna create. I don't already have that coming out. I kind of want to see what everybody thinks of it. Like, for example, if this song is just really popping for some reason and just have thousands and thousands of more views, I'd definitely make a music video on that.
I understand that, and that's so good. I don't understand, as a person who's not a musician but one that would aspire to be one, it's always so interesting to see how an artist puts together the music and then they factor in the opinions from the audience while maintaining the truth of themselves. Well, speaking about remaining true to yourself, what is the one message that you would like for all of your audience members to feel throughout listening to your music? What is like the overall meaning or message or emotion that you'd like to express?
Overall emotion, it's going to be different between different albums and works, obviously, but on what I am working on right now, it's just a whole lot of just somber moods, just really looking into yourself and just really, at the end of the day, just you're in your head, and you just have that feeling of despair, like it's definitely a sadness that you gotta feel, and I feel I bring that out pretty well in my music. And if you're going through it, no matter what it may be, you're definitely gonna feel it.
Understandable. Thank you so much, William.
Yeah.
Can you look at the camera and tell us your single and where to download it at?
You and I, available on all platforms, basically. Get it on iTunes.